Psst, check out my Patreon.
Hello guys, it's been a while since I've done a video like this, almost 2 years even. The last time I made a first impressions video was Craig of the Creek in 2018. Yeah, I've been meaning to do this again, and I wanted to make a brief video on a new show I recently got into known as Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. Truth be told, I haven't seen anyone talking about this show, so I wanted to go ahead and give it some time in the spotlight because I really enjoy this cartoon. Kipo is available on Netflix for those of you that may be interested in checking it out after finishing this video. And don't worry, I won't be spoiling anything, so you can keep watching without having the show ruined for you outside of the basic premise. I have my girlfriend to thank for introducing me to this show because, quite frankly, if it weren't for her having me watch the first 3 episodes, I never would have given the show a chance and this video wouldn't exist right now. Instead, my YouTube channel would die again because this site is so demanding and you can't take more than like 2 weeks off, otherwise the site's algorithm purposefully goes out of its way to screw you over. So needless to say, I'm really happy that I saw this show because it gave me something to talk about while I work on other videos behind the scenes. Kipo is a series that was originally based on a webcomic made by Radford Seacrest. Apologies for any mispronunciation there. He's also the main showrunner on the series. It's a quaint little show that follows a burrow girl named Kipo who has lost contact with her family and home. The show takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where nature has been mutated exponentially, and humans have since stepped down as the dominant species of the food chain. Rabbits are now the size of buildings, pigs have 2 sets of eyes and 6 legs, and frogs can talk and wear suits. Kipo is clearly going for a more serialized approach in its storytelling, similar to other Netflix cartoons like Hilda, which are well known for their world building. In fact, that's probably what gives Kipo most of its appeal. The world that it wants to entrap you in is both grand and mysterious. Just seeing all the different landscapes and characters that Kipo and her friends run into really shows how much drive there is behind this series. And I think what is really interesting is that despite being produced by DreamWorks, this is not one of their many animated series based off of a popular movie or anything like that. This is a completely original series, headed by its original creator, with its original story to tell, and the show really benefits from that because it allows for much more creative flexibility compared to what would be found in one of those movie series I mentioned. The show literally begins by just tossing Kipo out into the world without any explanation for where she is or what everything means. It's a great way of getting the viewers invested in the series because we get to learn everything from the start right alongside Kipo. Very early on, it's explained that she's lived her whole life underground as a burrow girl, leading to the assumption that after whatever a tragedy occurred on the surface, human society decided to migrate underground where it would be safe from the vicious beasts that roam the surface world. She was born in the ground, went to school in the ground, learned her skills in the ground. Everything she's experienced was from the safety of her own home, so for the series to begin by tossing her out into the wild unknown is a great way to get a grip on her and you. I won't lie, this had me interested right off the bat. Now, for the sake of spoilers, I won't explain anything more than that premise, but let's just say there's a lot of unanswered questions that slowly get explained over the course of the season. By the end of episode 3, I was completely immersed in this show's narrative, dying to see what would happen next. The series has a very strong start, and there isn't really a single main character I dislike yet. Things are building up gradually and the characters are coming together over time. Not everything is rushed right at the beginning, and that's what I appreciate most. The pacing is very well done. There's enough time given to each area that they visit that really allows you to enjoy the environment, letting the atmosphere sink in, while simultaneously throwing some really high-speed action sequences in there to keep things interesting from time to time. The main character is, of course, Kipo, the happy-go-lucky individual who is ignorant to the dangers of the surface world but willing to do anything she can to get back to her family. Unfortunately, one thing that's kind of disappointing is the fact that Kipo is the ordinary, extremely positive central character that's in almost like every show like this nowadays. I don't get why this trend is so popular lately, but like Star vs, OKKO, Hilda, Steven Universe, etc. It's getting a little tiring, to be honest, with all of these main protagonists having the same personality. But that's like one minor quibble I have with the whole series. Everything else is spectacular and I greatly enjoy them. Early in the series, she ends up running into this mutated pig which she names Mandu and keeps as a pet, as well as her friend Wolf, a fellow human who has been living on the surface world, lurking around and hunting to survive. Then of course there's Benson and his mutated insect Dave, who's constantly aging and reincarnating himself over and over again. Kind of like a phoenix, but in bug form. I don't know, I personally think Dave is the most interesting character if you ask me. It's funny because Benson actually reminds me of somebody I knew from high school too. And the crazy thing is he looks and sounds exactly like him. It's a really weird coincidence, I gotta say. Maybe it's just me, but the art style kind of reminds me of Teen Titans a little bit. Just the way the faces are drawn and react reminds me a lot of that hybrid western/anime aesthetic that the classic Teen Titans cartoon would always go for. You can even see it in the frame by frames with a lot of the shots. I mean, the way the characters move are very similar to the way Teen Titans is animated. I'm not sure if that cartoon was an influence on this series or not, but that's the immediate comparison that came to my mind. This show has action, it has adventure. It's a shame season 1 is only 10 episodes long because I am hooked and would gladly love to see more of this series. Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts definitely gets a hearty recommendation from me, and I highly encourage you guys to check it out if you haven't already. Certainly something to look forward to watching if you haven't seen it yet. With that said, those are my first impressions of Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. It's definitely a great series from what I'm seeing so far, and I cannot wait to see what unfolds next. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. More reviews are on the way, so thank you so much for being patient with me, and hopefully this little first impressions video is enough to tie you guys over just a little while longer before I start rolling out my main videos for 2020. I've really been enjoying my time off so far and have been making the most of it, so thank you guys so much. And seriously, go watch Kipo already. This show deserves way more attention and recognition than it's getting. Quality series, through and through.